What up, gang? It's your boy ZaZa, man, back with another banger. And it's been a couple days, I know, man. Happy New Year, first of all. Happy New Year. Uh, Happy holidays. Peace, love, blessings, and prosperity to you and all your families, for sure. It's been a couple days, man. I'm down, bruh. I got the vid, bruh. The vid 24, man. You hear me? I got the vid, but I'm strong, man. You hear me? So I've been down for a couple days, but we back. And I've been thinking about you guys, man. And I wanted to touch base with you guys, man. There has been some questions, a question in particular that reaches me often, and it's how much space do I need to breed with? How much space do I need to start my breeding journey? And today, I'm going to cover some details about my particular area and space that I work with, as well as giving you some suggestions for your own at-home breeding project, man. And so with no further ado, let's get straight into it. Get it!
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you heard me?
Yeah, you know it.
Turn up the leaf blower and the lawnmower. He smoked the sour. Should've been a hippie, should've been a shower. Bread with no dread, black cock, who ya?
Another thing, don't forget to join the Discord.
All right, so when it comes to breeding space, the most important thing to recognize is knowing that your main objective is creating your own population. So with that in mind, specifically our F2 generation, we're going to want to be able to plant as many as possible. And we talked about yesterday with the group gene frequency, right? And when we talk in terms of gene frequency is referring to how much or how frequently these alleles or traits are showing up your population. So some traits may have less of a gene frequency than others, while others may have a higher gene frequency. And when they have a high gene frequency, they show up many more times throughout the population. Let's give you an example. Green plant. A green plant, the color green is a very high frequency in our community, right? Within our populations, within mostly all the populations, right? We can almost 100% expect for majority, if not all of the population, to come out green. That is a very high frequency of that particular trait. And when we're dealing with traits, the only way to unmask as many variables as possible, because we want variability, then we need to plant as many seeds as possible. Now, it's not impossible to start your breeding project with a small at-home setup. All right? It's not impossible, but there's something that you need to understand, and that's called the trained eye. So for me, when it comes to selecting, I have a trained eye. I know what I'm looking for. And in the beginning of your selection, it may be a lot easier to differentiate the dominant traits, the observable traits, right? We can see the differences. But as you move closer and closer towards uniformity or stability, most of these offspring start to look like each other. Once we start to push more towards uniformity, you'll need much more of a trained eye to spot the differences for the selection process. It becomes more difficult as you become more skilled. And you need to understand that when in terms of selecting, you want to have as many options as possible to look at, right? Or you'll need to really have a good trained eye. So I'll give you my perspective. Coming from the dog world, we only are able to work with a limited amount of offspring, 10 puppies, 8 puppies, 5 puppies, sometimes less. So when we think of seeds and having thousands and thousands of offspring, it gives us the ability to see way more possibilities and variabilities, way more options are on the table. And it makes the selection process much more efficient and less time consuming overall. Now, with that example, I'm going to give you a good perspective on how I select when I'm dealing with limited space. All right, gang, real quick intermission. Make sure you visit the website ZaZagenetics.com. Make sure stop by acinfinity.com and use code TEAMZaZa for a discount at checkout. Join us on Discord. Join us on Instagram, zaza.genetics.official. And please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps me continue to get these videos out to you. And it just shows support, man. So if you want to join Team ZaZa, the YouTube subscription is opened up. You can join 3 different Team ZaZa membership levels. Our newest member, welcome to the team, Ansar Black. Make sure you follow Ansar Black, man. He is the newest Team ZaZa YouTube member. Hit that notification bell. That way you always be in tune for every time I drop a video. I just vision it as if I'm still breeding a litter of puppies, right? So I know if I only have 10 puppies to deal with or 10 seeds to plant, then I have to be really specific and really use my trained eye to make sure any subtle differences I can identify, whether desirable or undesirable, just depends on my overall objective. First thing, you need to be able to kill off plants that are not breeding quality. And you need to be able to do that aggressively, effectively, right? And efficiently. You need to be able to kill off and cull any plants that are not meant for your breeding program. You need to find those early on because you don't have many offspring to work with. In the dog world as well, when we only dealing with 3 puppies, a lot of times you're gonna miss, right? You may miss, you may just not have the opportunity with this litter because the traits that you're looking for just are not there in this round. So you have to try again with the same mother and father. You know, and the same thing with seeds, man. You know, if you end up killing all those first 10, you plant the next 10, right? And it really resembles how we work in the dog world. You just got to try again. Just understand that it is possible to breed selectively at home with limited space, but just know that you will be limited as far as your variable traits, you know, your variabilities, your options. You'll be limited. And not only will you be limited, but you know, you need to be prepared to try again. At first you don't succeed, you will be looking to try again, and you'll be culling out a lot of those plants. So it's going to be a lot more time that you'll be spending, right? The more selections you have, the more opportunities, the more seeds you have planted, the more plants you have to look at, the less time you'll have to consume because you'll have more options to go after, more phenotypical expressions. You'll have a higher gene frequency of traits and alleles that we are used to, right? So now, as far as my setup, I rock 2 4x4 side by side. One is for strength building. We want to build strength and select only the strongest ones, right? It's more so to see who can make it as breeding stock. And then once we've selected those and said, okay, they are good breeding quality so far, they have the good strengths and qualities and desirable traits that we are looking for, then they move into what we call the graveyard, also a 4x4, and it's just complete harsh stress testing conditions, and a lot of the plants don't survive. But it helps me to cull out naturally what will be resembled outside. We would call it natural selection, right? Only the strongest survive. So we put it through these artificial tests to try to mimic some of the conditions that you may experience in an outside environment, and we just increase them drastically to put them in the gauntlet, man. In the graveyard, if you survive the graveyard, then you guaranteed are a special specimen, and you'll be making it hopefully to the next round of testing. So that's my setup. 2 4x4s. Usually I can plant. See, I plant a lot. Even knowing I kind of can gauge how many plants will be called off before I even plant them. But generally, I'll plant around 60. Plant around 60, 50, 60. And as long as I can get 2 out of that 50, 60, 100, then I'm good. 100 is a little bit tougher. Especially if you're dealing with really good cultivars, you got to have a really good trained eye to be ready to kill off even the good. I kill good plants. I just don't kill the best. So remember that. I kill all good plants, but I'll never kill the best. And that will help you to build a really strong foundation for your breeding program. And I do also have a 2x4 that I use as a emergency in case I got to pull plants or isolate them, pull them to the side. So I do have the 2 4x4s and side by side, and the 2x4 just in case. And what's you guys set up? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully that gave you a little bit better understanding. You don't need a big old field, or you don't need a 40,000 square foot facility to be a breeder, but what's even more important than space is your trained eye. All right? You got to train your eye for selection. And we're going to go through some activities along the next couple weeks to help us train our eye for selection, man. And that's it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. I missed you guys, man. And I think you gave me a little strength, man. I feel better already, man. So I'll be back, man. I'm off work this entire week, unfortunately. I'll be off work, but I'll be here with you. So we'll be dropping a video every day, man. We'll be dropping a video every day. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next, man. And enjoy this new year, man. This is your year, man. Treat people how you want to be treated. Remember, a little bit of empathy goes a long way. And thank you. We appreciate you. Team ZaZa, we love you. 2024 is up.